So when it comes to manifesting and visualizing, one of the error that I personally made, or just something that I didn't realize, was I can spend all this time thinking positive thoughts, doing affirmations. Let's say I want to attract money, so um, I'm trying to think positive thoughts about money, um, but let's say that I grew up all these years being programmed to feel um, to believe in a lack of money, right? Like growing up in an environment that programs you to feel lack, to feel just negativity and just feeling poor, right? So sometimes with me, I notice that on one hand, I want to manifest, let's say, a lot of money. So I'm like thinking about that. For example, I'm like, let's say I'm just thinking positive thoughts, trying to think positive thoughts about it to manifest it. But let's say I do that, but then I also, when I'm done doing that, as I move on with my day, I am thinking negative thoughts about money, and I'm like not even conscious of it. But I'm thinking these negative thoughts about money. Maybe I'm at the grocery store and I'm like stressing about money, but it's so I'm so used to it that um I don't even realize I'm doing that, right? So this applies to any topic, right? Like relationship. Let's say, you're trying to manifest a soulmate and you're thinking positive thoughts about your soulmate, which is great, but you're shooting yourself in the foot when, after you're done with that, you go back to feeding all these negative thoughts, um, going back to your old pattern, about relationships. So when it comes to manifestation, visualization, and like tools, the positive tools like affirmations and like positive thinking, gratitude, they're amazing. But just make sure um, that you are practicing presence. You are releasing negative thoughts. And if you don't know how to um, practice presence, I'll link a playlist down below in the description. But um, you want to get good at releasing your negative thoughts. So when it comes to manifestation, it is very, very, very important that you understand that if you have a desire, like let's say for a soulmate, and if you just didn't think about it, like if you didn't add any positive thought or negative thought to it, it will manifest rather quickly, um, or in a very delightful fashion. But for the most of us, we have a lot of programming from the past. So what that causes to happen is just, like we are thinking these negative thoughts on these certain subjects that we want to manifest. And so if we're continuing to do that on one hand, and then spending like, I don't know, 5 minutes visualizing, like you're kind of like going in a circle, um, if you don't release the negative part. So you want to make sure you're not doing that, right? So visualization, all those tools are amazing. They're amazing, especially if it feels good. But just make sure that monitor your thoughts throughout the day. Make sure you are not really shooting yourself in the foot by um, um, continuing to, continuing to feed those negative thoughts without even noticing on the same subject, right? So you're thinking all these negative thoughts, and then you spend a little bit of time visualizing. But if you keep these negative thoughts going, you're just gonna it's gonna slow you down. That's all.